So they'll be calling you a radical. Real important video. So as far as, this is as low as it gets. And I knew it was happening. And there's the video proof. I knew it was happening. This dentist's office, this woman's finally been arrested. Remember, let me show you. I'll explain this from the beginning. This is an important video. How I got, it's amazing to me how this place will attack a person in critical condition fighting for their life and knowingly abuse them and rob them while they're dying of cancer. It's all the rage. And starting with Huntsman Cancer Institution sued me. Why is going in and out of a coma for $1,300 for a phone call they didn't know? You should have heard them calling me when I'm in the hospital. Finally I had it. I'm in a bone marrow transplant, critical. They didn't do anything, so this one takes the cake. So as you know, first I'll start from the beginning. They finally arrested her. See that scar across my face? In 2005, I got attacked out of nowhere. Sucker punched with a pair of brass knuckles. Almost killed me. Shattered my face. I used to have this perfect nose. My nose didn't have this little indentation. I had it. So it busted all my teeth off inside my jaw. Hematoma on the front of my brain. That night at the emergency room, and this goes way back, McQuackney, the abuse, what they did to me. Now, they have some good doctors up there now, but that nose should have been set that night. And that quack doctor didn't set it. That's why I have that nasty scar. So, as you know, fighting for my life with cancer, 2011, 12, 13, 14, you watch this horrible, what a fight. Fighting the nuclear industry, trying to stand up. I'm in critical condition. You don't even know. I'm going through the tide pools, doing all this work with a Feldor. So, the abuse goes on. So, as you know, the cancer fight, Mike Lee, my God. I had about $1 million. I got into the bone marrow transplant. I had to fork everything I had over. My bill was way north of that. So I didn't. The caseworkers come to me and says, you're going to have to go on Medicaid. I'm central line. I'm going in and out of coma. I'm in the middle of hardcore AML, de novo non-Hodgkin's lymphoma treatment. That didn't last long. I get somewhere out of nowhere, and they're like, you've been kicked off Medicaid. I got a call. What? Why I'm under treatment? What do you mean? No letter, no notification, no nothing. Well, Mike Lee sent all our money back. Remember, I'm in critical condition. This place never saw. This is the hallmark of satanic Satan lovers that call themselves Christians. This is biblical. It's written into biblical times. It's written into the Mormon doctrine that these hair-sprayed masquerade parties will mask and fool everybody that they're really Satan. Mike Lee got $600,000 in a bank bailout. Look it up. Why is that? Pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Cut people off food stamps while they're marginalized down to nothing. I got no public assistance. Nothing. Cut off Medicaid while I'm in the middle of treatment. I didn't have a bone marrow transplant. How am I alive? So it goes forward. The chemo is war. I was born with a battered valve anyway. I knew it was going. You can see the videos. I'm bleeding. I can't go into McQuackney anymore. It's a nightmare. I'm out of insurance. They tried to kill me. They misdiagnosed my cancer. They diagnosed my cancer as being, remember they told me it was an ulcer and a hole in my stomach. Go home. This Japanese doctor in there told me, go home. There's nothing wrong with you. They found me on the floor in a coma. How am I alive is hundreds of miracles. I don't know. So, I'm going over to Ogden Regional in South Ogden. I'm bleeding so hardcore, profusely, you don't even know. I can feel it. My teeth are going black. I'm like, it's got to be my heart. I'm in there, so this Michael Hawkins, doctor, he's emergency doctor. Now, I found out later you don't have to have, he's got a degree from Western Montana in chiropractic. I've checked him out. I've done my work. I go in there, and he well, there's nothing wrong with you. Or, excuse me, he didn't say nothing wrong with it. He says, well, we run the test. Now, this is no shit. I'm in there, and he just stuffs some stuff up my nose, blah, blah, gets the blood stopped. If this doesn't get better, come back, obviously. They didn't clean me up, nothing. 2 days, I'm bleeding even worse. So I go back. It's a Sunday. I go back on a Sunday, and I go in there, and I'm like, well, we can't do much for you. You're uninsured, blah, 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 blah. So he says, I'll run this test, blah, blah. The girl comes in, this nurse comes in. And that's when I wore my beaker hat all the time, And she's like, she recognized me. She's like, Kevin, oh my God, remember me? I'm like, yeah. She was one of my nurses in the bone marrow transplant center when I was quarantined in there for months, going there out of coma. And I could hear, she told the doctor, no. Kevin's an AML leukemia survivor. Kevin's AML, no. And he says, and you could hear him back there. I could hear him just going, well, he's uninsured. And she's like, so he comes back to, and he told me he ran the test. I says, it's my heart. It's my heart valve. It's my heart. I know it's my heart. No, there's nothing wrong with you. The heart. I ran the test. It's not, it's your teeth. Go see your dentist. Go see your dentist. Now, this gets back to the dentist. Oh, God. A week later, I collapsed in the yard on Easter Sunday. I don't know how I didn't die that day. I got up to the hospital. Went back to McKD, and I'm having a stroke. I drove myself. I'm having a stroke. I was gone. I can't believe that I didn't die on the way. I had my flashers going on my car. And I got up. There was no traffic because it was a Sunday morning. It was Easter. And I got up there, and the doctor's like, oh, my God, it's the old professor. He says, you're the best professor. I was a student professor when he was there, and he's like, I'll get you right in. He got me in and did a test, and he says, he got me right to see Dr. Collado. Dr. Collado put the ultrasound on me, and I remember looking at the nurse. He's in the background. He's letting the nurse's eyes are just going. And he walks right in, he stopped, get in a wheelchair now. Your aortic valve's completely collapsed. I don't know how you're not dead. Get in a wheelchair. They split me open, replaced my aortic valve. So as this whole started, my teeth were going black. I get this rash on my skin. I went back to LDS. I went back to LDS because I was getting this rash all over my skin. And they're told, oh, you got scabies. I said, no, I don't. Same thing. The abuse. It's an ugly fight. So get this. So finally, the person that affected these teeth are really, it's a nightmare. It still is. So I go back to see Rochelle, my friend I went to college with, who fixed my whole jaw and replaced my whole teeth, whatever. Her and our friends. We went to college. I said, Rochelle, and she testified in the court case on this, on the person that did it. And it was nasty. You should have seen me. So we'll fix you up, Kevin, blah, blah, blah. Here, we'll put a package together. We'll give you a good deal, blah, 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 blah. She knew my whole leukemia path, all of it. We sit and explain. So her office manager, right there, she listened to the whole thing. She says, she remembered me from before. I thought, I don't know if it was the same one or not, but, Rochelle says, well, I know you got leukemia, blah, blah. And I says, yeah. So she says, we have to teach you. You have to be careful. I got AML. My platelets are still probably pretty low, blah, blah, blah. This office manager knows all this. So a lot of work needs to be done. A bunch of root canals, all this. So she starts to do the root canals, starts to do the stuff on my teeth. And the office manager says, well, we have to have some money, And I says, yeah. And activists donated for this. And so I said, I have $300 on me right now. Here's $300, and she started. She started right now. They didn't do a whole lot. Started one root canal. Had problems getting through with it. Had another doctor in there. So, make the next appointment. She says, you'll have to bring some more money. Okay. So I come in, and she says, well, you need $1,200. What? You just see me for an hour. What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. So I gave her another $900. She wrote me a receipt and everything. I made sure, I'm like, well, give me a receipt. She wrote it. They did a bunch more work. They finally got through that root canal, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Kev, make another appointment. Rochelle herself, right there. I go out there to tell her, she says, well, you got to have more money, blah, 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 next time you come in. Whatever. You know, I wasn't feeling good. I was full of pain. I just had a root canal, blah, blah. So I leave. I come back. No, we can't see you anymore until you have $5,000. What? I just gave you $1,200. What? You didn't do anything. You worked for me for an hour. What are you talking? Let me talk to Rochelle. Oh, you can't talk to her. She's not around you. She's gone. What? So then I kept going back. I want to talk to Rochelle. No, you can't. So then I started calling. I need to talk to Rochelle. No, you can't talk to her, blah, blah, blah. You know, this. Then she started calling me. She called this exact person who was booked into the Weber County Jail yesterday. Called me dozens of, not that long ago, threatening me. Oh, you owe us. I said, oh, you didn't do anything. What are you talking about? You owe me. Let me talk to Rochelle. No, blah, blah, blah. I mean, rude, nasty. Blah. Fuck. So, you know, then I got sick again this year. I had to go to the clinic, and Dr. Bingham, you know, had to pull it. This is the one tooth. I should have never lost that tooth. You know? This is what we're up against, fighting the nuclear industry, standing up to the mission. Who would have believed it? You know, here I was a millionaire, pillar of the community. I coached youth athletics. I taught at the university level. I mean, I never switched to the fake stock of my plastic business. I was a derivative arbitrage specialist. I hedged charitable organizations' portfolios, protection, wealth protection I did for charitable organizations, including the Lung Association. This is the kind of person, this is the kind of life I live. I gave back constantly. Any charity thing there was, still to this day. If there's an event, you know, I show up. I donate. I give my time. Been that way my whole life. My whole life. My whole life. This is what I give. Fight the nuclear industry. By the way, Switzerland shuts down their reactors. A big story, a big deal. I talked to my daughter. She's in Switzerland right now. She says, oh, everybody's celebrating. And, you know, the Italian mob, because, you know, I'm in Italy over there. You know, there's no reactors up there, but, you know, he'll say, oh, we supply the uranium. We love them, you know. They love them. Utah, fuck. I mean, what the fuck? No wonder they're going for these small little nuclear reactors. I mean, think about the work that I've done through this horrible, sick path. I was given 2 months to fucking live 8 years. I mean, the misdiagnosis in McKay. The only reason McKay's nice to me, they're like, I'll never forget it, this woman. I'm like, you do realize you misdiagnosed me. You told me that Dr. Taos went down inside me and told me it was just a hole in my stomach and it was all fucking take the 3-way drug for an ulcer. And that was the only thing wrong with it. The Japanese doctor come in and told me my daughter was in there with her little baby that day. He got mad at her for being in the room after the nurses, after the doctor told me I'd be dead. No, they scoped you. There's nothing wrong with you, blah, 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 blah. I told the woman, look what you did to me. I faded away 6-7 pounds. This is the collection agents from McKay, you know. I'll never forget it. This is years later. She says, Kevin, I got to tell you, I've read through this path and I see what happened. And then you diagnosed yourself. Vincent Hansen, who wasn't with them then, got into your hip and she knew, and he figured out, because I knew him. I fought for my stock portfolio. I says, look, don't treat me like this. I'm not insured. I got freaking almost $1 million. And he says, I know, here, Kevin. And he saved me. She says, I know your path, Kevin. I've read through this whole thing. First off, she says, I want to apologize. I says, you didn't do it. I am so, so sorry. Oh, my God. You know, and so, you know, this is after the open heart surgery. We'll work with you and do whatever we can. And, you know, she was nice to me and apologized. Since then, they've been nice to me. You know, I still owe them money, but, you know, the medication, you know medication was? Fuck. I had open heart surgery. I got a fake aortic valve in the center of me. You know, you're on medication for life with that. That stuff's a lot of money. I mean, so, but anyway, they've changed cultures a lot over there. They fixed it a lot, and, you know, and Collado and Connors, those great hearts, saved my life, you know, and I come from a family of heart doctors. They all know me. You know, these guys, I mean, everybody knows me. My grandsons are like every place we go, everybody, because I've been an active member of this community my whole life. This is what I get. Fuck. So they busted her finally. It's on the front page on Christmas Day at the Sarge Center. $96,000 ripped off fucking people. You know, and I know Rochelle. Rochelle's a great person, but she had a corrupt office manager run her thing. I mean, I don't know. I guess being a dentist or being a doctor, you can't be the finance person. I understand that. But pull yourself up by the bootstrap. I mean, this is the biblical times that we have. What a fucking story. What a horrible path. You know what? I'm in California and they're like, well, come down here. We'll get you on CalMed. You know, establish residency. I mean, my grandkids live here. I'm 7th fucking generation here. First whitey buried in the cemeteries. Look at his last name. It's Bryant. I mean, you have to give it all up for these false prophets, for these ideologue creeps. You know, what a fight. You know, the attorneys have a saying, no good deed goes unpunished. On Balco, on chemo. You know, think about all the work that I've done. And think about if I didn't have this, you know, I think what the university did to me. The university, fucking Weber State blackballed me. They could have paid for this. They could have paid, but no, I stand up to the nuclear industry. I stand up to the machine. You realize when I taught there at Weber State, we were the #1 school business in the United States. #1. Unarguable. #1 via the testing. Do you know they scored last this year? Don't go see the Dalai Lama. Yeah, I mean, you think about the abuse. What the fuck? It's like I'm living in a fucking, what's his name says, I can't believe it. So they finally busted her. Maybe it's showing the tide. Maybe the tide is changing. You know, because I think this probably went on for a long, long, long time. It was probably going on when they fixed this, and that was in 2005. You know, so still got the teeth issues. You know, Dr. Bingham, he did very minimal that he could do because I didn't have much money. And, you know, I gave him what money I had. You know, fuck. What's $1,000 to a dentist? I mean, oh, I don't know, but I'm probably going to have to move to California. I mean, sleep on the beach until I get, because my little cute place that I used to rent down there, the Beachcomber, they closed it. That guy used to give me a good deal there. Able to work the tide pools. I mean, how long can I sleep in a sleeping bag at my age? I'm 60 fucking years old. Fucking walk the beaches of California. I mean, think about what I've done. How long can I keep doing this? You know, my PhD, this is probably the greatest PhD in human history that I've done. Well, what a story. What a fucking story. You know, and I don't believe it, but they finally did arrest her. I tried to tell Rochelle. I mean, I tried to get to Rochelle and tell her, but I couldn't find her. I couldn't get to her. You know, there's multiple dentists in there. It's her office, you know, and she was like the gatekeeper. I mean, I see why. I think it probably happened to a lot of people. I think they really abused a lot of people, which I know, you know. So, Christmas 2019, Switzerland shuts down, turns off the nuke, cuts off, Switzerland cuts the nuclear power. The United States cuts food stamps off the vulnerable, the freaking abused. I don't get any public assistance, none, 0.0. Think about my situation. You know, my gallbladder ruptured. You know, because Mike Lee cut me out. That was the day that I was due to surgery. I got a call from the surgeon. Well, we're going to cut this. You're out of insurance. No, I'm on Medicaid. No, you're not. We got a letter yesterday. You've been cut off. That was on May 31st, 2015, when Mike Lee went, any single message cut him off his idealistic stand against Obamacare when he got $600,000. He got $600,000 from the government. Look it up in a bank bailout. His house got foreclosed on, and they short sale. That's legal tender. They'll sue you for it. They'll garnish your wages up to 75%. Why did they garnish his wages for 75%? This is the false. This is. I don't know what to fucking do at this point. I mean, thank you everybody who's supported. I mean, my PhD, this ongoing PhD that I've done, I've had to freelance and grassroots, which I think will happen more and more. I think you're going to see a lot more PhDs because they've captured all the things. They're going to start doing like I've done it with private money, freelance the PhD, which is probably the greatest PhD in human history. Kevin Semmelweis. If you know anything about Semmelweis in Austria, germ theory, the guy invented it. They threw him in a rubber room and killed him. You know, the germ theory, little invisible germs, you know, doctors need to wash their hands, and everybody says that's blasphemy, and he's crazy, you know. So thank you to everybody who supported this historic work. So they finally arrested her, you know. We'll get no compensation. Just like the Roundup freaking settlement. Attorneys have come to me on that. We'll get nothing. Nobody, you know, the vulnerable, I mean, like I said, I always had plenty of money. I always had so much to do, you know, until cancer hit me on that day like a truck. I was working on a PhD when I got sick. The University of Weber State could have paid for it. They could have retroed it in, but fuck, no. After everything they could have. Fuck me. Well, fuck them. You know? Fuck them. The people that did this to me, to all of us. I mean, it's fucking sad. It's fucking really sad. You know, my grandkids live here, and 7th generation. You know, my father was a Special Forces Marine, fucking gave his fucking life. My Uncle Reggie stood on Omaha Beach on fucking D-Day. Battle of the Bulge guy. These are pillars of this fucking town and this community. No doubt. This, I mean, our name is infamous in this town. The famous heart surgeon who saved Thunder, that's Dr. Blanche himself, saved me from the freaking grave. Kevin, don't let them ever open you unless you're going to die. You know, and they wanted to gut me. Miss Vacara says, oh, we're going to gut you. I said, no, you're not doing that to me. Dr. Hans says, if he'd have opened you, you'd have been dead within 24 hours. I don't know how I'm alive. I mean, talk about a miracle on a miracle on a miracle. What a fight, huh? What a fight. Go team.